The truck arrived at 7 in the morning, before the burial, before the pastor finished morning prayers, and Ngozi hadn't slept. She sat in the parlor, her youngest, Emeka, on her lap, when she heard the gate, then the truck. Her mother-in-law, Mama Okonkwo, walked in with 3 sons and 2 strangers. "We have come for our son's things," she declared. Ngozi, bewildered, whispered, "Mama, he is not even in the ground yet." But Mama Okonkwo insisted, "These things belong to the family. We are taking them now." And they began. But Ngozi is not a story about what was taken. She is a story about what could not be taken. Ngozi Okafor, from Enugu, grew up in a home rich in love. A good student, she studied nursing and graduated in 2005. She met Chidio, a civil engineer from Imo State, at a wedding in 2006. It was his attentive listening that captured her heart. They dated for 2 years, and in 2007, Chidi introduced her to his large, boisterous family. Mama Okonkwo, a 61-year-old market woman, approved of Ngozi, seeing a good face. For 10 years, Mama Okonkwo treated Ngozi with warmth, sending food, calling on Sundays, and staying 4 weeks after each of Ngozi's 3 children were born. Adazi in 2009, Obiora in 2011, and Emeka in 2016. Ngozi called her Mama and meant it. The Okonkwo family was Ngozi's family. She believed it. Chidi died on a Tuesday night in October 2018 in a senseless road accident. He was 41. He had called Ngozi hours before, promising to be home by 9, with cardboard for Addie's school project. Mama Okonkwo arrived at 4, having chartered a car from Imo. She held him, crying, saying, "God knows best, my daughter." Ngozi believed her, until 7 in the morning when the truck pulled up. They came with a handwritten list. Ngozi later realized it meant this had been planned. They moved through the house, taking the television, the generator, Chidi's laptop, the refrigerator, the microwave, even unscrewing the ceiling fan. They took Chidi's suits, his shoes, and his wristwatch, Ngozi's wedding gift, from the bedside table where his side of the bed was still warm. Ngozi followed, not screaming, but pleading. "Once, Mama, please, not the refrigerator. I have children." Mama Okonkwo replied, "You can buy a new one. This one was bought with our son's money." Ngozi countered, "I am a nurse. This house was built with both our money." Mama Okonkwo simply stated, "We are taking what belongs to the family." Ngozi watched them take the refrigerator. She went to the children's room. Adazi, Obiora, and Emeka were awake, huddled together. "Mama, what is happening?" Adazi asked. "Stay in this room. Do not come out," Ngozi instructed, closing the door. Back in the parlor, Chidi's brother, Chukwudi, was taking the children's school bags. "Chukwudi, those are the children's bags," Ngozi said. He replied, "They were bought with family money." Ngozi reminded him their uniforms and books were inside. Mama Okonkwo entered, saw the bags, and without looking at Ngozi commanded, "Take the bags." Ngozi uttered one word, "Mama." A question, a grief, a boundary. Mama Okonkwo did not look at her. Chukwudi took the bags to the truck. Ngozi stood in her parlor, in the clothes she had worn since 2 in the morning, watching them take her children's school bags. She did not collapse. She stood with the stillness of a woman who understood who she was dealing with. They left at 9:30. The house was emptier, not just physically. The children emerged. Adazi observed. They took everything. Emeka asked, "Where's my bag?" "My drawing for Daddy was in it." Ngozi knelt, holding her children in the empty parlor, holding them when words were useless. Her neighbor, Mrs. Uchena, brought food and a list of everything taken. "You are going to need it," she said. Mrs. Uchena, a widow herself, understood. She brought food for today and a list for later. The burial was the following Saturday, organized by the Okonkwo family. Ngozi wore black, sitting in the front row with her children. Mama Okonkwo sat beside her, holding her hand throughout the service. Life changed in an instant. At Chidi's burial, grief hung heavy. My children, my everything, became my sole focus. A small red bag, holding Emeka's drawing of his father, was placed gently beside the grave. A silent battle began. The family meeting in Imo was a betrayal. They spoke of Chidi's property, land, and accounts. But I knew my rights. I was the next of kin on every account. The room fell silent. They understood my resolve. My children's future depended on my strength, on every single asset. Leaving that meeting, a new path emerged. In Onitsha, amidst the bustling market, I found purpose. 3 school bags, a promise for their future. A yellow for Adaze, blue for Obiora, and a small red one for Emeka. In my car, a notebook became my battle plan. Change next of kin documents. Speak to a lawyer. Contact Chidi's employer. Open new account. School uniforms. Talk to the children. My list grew. To fight for everything, Primera need had help. Chisames, a wise lawyer, became my guide. She reviewed my documents, explaining the path ahead. Bank accounts in the house were straightforward. But the land, it was complex. Chisam asked, "What do you want to do?" My answer was clear. Everything. 8 long months of legal battle. Letters exchanged, documents filed, court appearances, alone. The Okonkwo family contested every claim, but my quiet strength never wavered. I fought for my children. Finally, the day came. In Chisam's office, the court's decision. Victory. I read the words, recognizing my claim to the Emolandan and Nugu plot. A simple thank you is all I could say. 5 years later, our home is filled with laughter and new beginnings. He cooked in Orobiora studies. At bedtime, I tell Emeka a story. A woman planted a seed in hard ground, and it grew into a shade-giving mango tree. Emeka's new drawing hangs proudly in our parlor. A woman, 3 children, a house, and a mango tree heavy with fruit. Our redefined family, thriving. The fruit of resilience, growth, and unwavering love. My journey, our future.